Hey guys! It has been some time since the last arty review from World of Tanks, and I think it's high time to correct this. Today's suspect is the SU-18, the Tier 2 entry-level SPG on the Russian tech tree. This is a very special machine, and it will give you at least as much grief as joy, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite reliable in its performance. Before we get down and dirty with the details, let me just tell you impatient ones that the timestamp to the gameplay awaits in the description below. This time I have a cool little round prepared for you, ending with an ace tanker and Top Gun medals, so hopefully it will show you what this little arty is capable of when the circumstances are right. But enough beating around the bush, let's see what the SU-18 is really like. Well, it looks completely ridiculous for one. I mean, just look at it. It looks like a kettle, and it even sounds like one. When I'm moving around this SPG I always crave tea, as it just sounds like the hot water is now finally ready for it. Anyway, half serious joke aside, the SU-18 has two very important characteristics. The good one is that it has a fast-firing, fast-aiming, solid gun with one of the best DPMs amongst the Tier 2 artillery pieces. The bad news is, however, that the actual firing arc is almost non-existent. It is so narrow that unless the target is completely stationary, you will constantly have to move your hull as well to stay on target, and of course, this means that you will have to re-aim all the time. Many times, by the time you did re-aim, they moved out of your firing arc again, so you have to reposition again and start all over again and again and again. You will have some super frustrating games in this machine, but patience and hopefully eventually stopping opponents will bring the results at the end of the day. So let's have a closer look at the gun then, as this is what makes and breaks this machine. The stats on it are quite good, and if you get a lot of easy to shoot targets, this is actually one of the best guns to blow them up at this tier. It all starts with a strong, even if not exceptional penetration of 42mm and an average damage of 164. While this is all perfectly fine at tier 2, the area where the gun really shines is the rate of fire with 7.5 shots per minute. This equals a reload time of only 8 seconds, and with this, the SU-18 is the second fastest arty in its tier in terms of rate of fire, closely behind the French artillery. As a further bonus, this ties together with the first spot for the aiming time, that's also only 4.5 seconds. So while you have to re-aim frequently because of your ridiculous firing arc, at least you can do so relatively fast. Your accuracy is the best in its tier 2 at 0.76 meters only, and you will get a really nice small aiming circle when fully aimed. The gun traverse is somewhat slow with only 18 degrees per second, but that's still the best there is in this tier, so we can't really complain that much. Overall, it's a great gun with an excellent DPM. It's a shame the firing arc somewhat destroys this nice picture. By the way, about the firing arc, I got into the habit of not locking my hull in this SPG as I have to re-aim anyway for the targets on the move. You need a steady hand for this, but it seems to help a little bit. You also have to aim much further ahead of moving targets, as you need to be about fully aimed before they reach where you aim at, so you can still lead your shots well enough. Next up is the protection. Or better to say the lack of it, but as we are looking at the tier 2 artillery, I don't think many of you are shocked here. The SU-18 has the lowest health pool at 70 HP, and it has only 16mm of armor all around. Let's just say we don't really need tank viewer for this kind of armor. Bottom line is, don't get spotted, as if you are being shot at, you are mostly screwed anyways. Unfortunately, the good news are now over, and we still have mobility and visibility to discuss. The SU-18 is one of the slowest SPGs in this tier, or better to say in general, with only a 22 km/h top speed, so let's just say you won't really outrun attackers. It can be a painful experience to relocate in this thing, while missing out on all those lovely targets. But it is what it is. It doesn't turn very well either with only 22 degrees per second hull traverse, but once again that's actually one of the better ones at this tier. Furthermore, it's also blind as a bat with only 260 meters for view range, so it really needs the eyes of the team to be safe. At least signal range is more on the average side at 350 meters. Equipment-wise is the super standard gunrammer gun-laying drive vents set up once again to get those reload and aiming times down even further. For crew skills as well, I suggest to start working on Brothers in Arms right from the beginning. It's just such an important skill for SPGs. So what's the verdict on the SU-18? Well, it's fun, and you can definitely make it work. I had lots of ace tanker and Top Gun games in this machine, and I got up to a maximum of 7 kills with it I think in one game. But the firing arc will be annoying whatever you do, so overall this will be never my favorite choice. Still, when it gets in one of the smaller maps like Mainz, Mittengard or Himmersdorf, it can really shine. And hopefully, I can just show you exactly that with the following match. Alright, so here we are in Mittengard in our SU-18. Well, we have this map, so we can expect pretty much all hell break loose as soon as the clock runs down. So let's have a quick look where we are. We are spawned in the southern position, and the aim is quite good here on the corner, so I won't relocate at all. I will just aim straight on and wait for the enemies to arrive. There is a T2, medium. Yes, please stay there. Thank you very much, that's very kind of you. No, don't move, don't move. Take the shot anyway. Oh, that's a hit. Excellent. Alright, and yep, this is exactly what we like to see. Now you will see during this match, I will have to constantly re-aim, even if they move just slightly. Oh, and that was another hit. Because they will leave my actual firing arc that you can see on the map is almost non-existent all the time. That's unfortunately only a 40 HP hit. Hopefully we can do now a little bit better. And you can see how small the aiming circle is if you let it fully aim. It's perfect. Come on. Okay. Distract. Let's see if we can get the finishing shot. And yes! Kill stealing by the book. 1 HP. Excellent. Alright. So this is an open top tank destroyer from the British line. Which is what we like to see. Right. Oh, that's so unfortunate. We actually splash the tracks, but don't do any actual damage. But maybe we can... And yes! That was really good. We didn't have much of a shot, but it was good anyway. And you see, again, he did move out of the firing circle, so we have to re-aim, and by the time we are aimed, he moves again. But after driving into the wreck, he drives into the wall, so that gives us enough time to prepare. Low tier mayhem for you guys, it's just priceless. And by the way, both of the teams are completely hopeless, as you can see from the lineup. But that gives us enough opportunity to rain death from above. Now, I'm not without faults here as well. You will see that the right side of the map, the right flank, is completely empty. And there was an M2 light and a Cruiser 3 spotted last time. So I'm completely defenseless here, and I'm getting tunnel visioned in on this Lorraine. And unfortunately I make some bad shots here. See, this is what happens when you don't fully aim. And now I should be really looking at the map, but tunnel vision is a bitch. And now I'm getting hunted down by this Cruiser 3, so that's definitely a mistake of mine. And there we go, pop. But we did finish the game on 6 kills, doing some pretty hardcore damage at this tier, it being a tier 3 game most of all, so overall it's not bad. Friendly T18 says good job as well, and we couldn't agree more. So hopefully the team doesn't fuck this up. We go by 1, so that's good, and one of their players is artillery, which is always a bonus. But at the moment we are being outcapped, so we need a reset, guys. Come on. Alright, Panzer 2G to the rescue. And where are you shooting? Well, I didn't take much precaution, but if it works, I have no complaints. Oh man, micro tier games, it's just hilarious. So now it's only the T-57 that's left, and that should be an easy kill. But it's not an easy kill. If the Panzer 1C tries to shoot it from the front, he will get blown up pretty soon. T-57 is very tough to penetrate from the front. But Panzer 1C does the right thing, goes around, shoots it in the back. So that's how you deal with it. Backhand signs all the way. And there we go. I think we did a fair contribution to this win. So that was the SU-18 in Mittengard. As usual, quite a fast and furious gameplay that you can expect on this map, but despite being only in a Tier 2 SPG, I think we pulled our weight and then some. In these not even 3 minutes we scored 10 penetrating hits, killing 6 of the enemy tanks and causing almost 700 damage. Just shows you how hardcore the rate of fire is on this thing. For our efforts, we have been awarded with an Ace Tanker and a Top Gun medal, together with 15,000 credits and almost 600 base XP. With this we did finish first by damage done and kills secured on both of the team lists, but we did fall short with just 5 XP from the first place by XP earned, and we finished second behind the friendly Panzer II-G driver, who probably caused a metric ton of assisted damage. I think we can also be quite happy with our aiming. From the 14 shots fired we scored 10 direct hits and 3 of them did some splash damage too. So that was my little review on the SU-18. I hope you did like it. There are further SPG reviews on the horizons, and I also recorded some hilarious footage recently, so a new episode from the World of Tanks fail compilations will follow too. From World of Warships, I am preparing videos on the Tier 6 carrier, the Saipan, and the Tier 4 battleship Miyogi at the moment, so there is a lot of cool stuff on the way. The destroyer reviews I did put aside for the time being, as I want to push the carrier and battleship progression until the inevitable progression vibe when the game goes into open beta, expectedly quite soon. Have a great week guys, and I look forward to seeing you again in one of the next videos.